Generally, the political and religious affairs were run by the Dalai Lama's servant monks or the regent priest before the new Dalai Lama reached adulthood. But no matter who was in charge, it satisfied the appetite for power among monks of the upper echelon. In October of 1939, Lama Dundab entered Lhasa in a yellow sedan, which symbolized the Dalai Lama's status. Under the maneuverings of the regent living Buddha Radang, this 5-year-old boy seemed to be the new Dalai Lama. Before that, the Tibetan Kashag government had already telegraphed the Kuomintang government to request that a high-level official be sent to host the ordination ceremony of the new Dalai Lama. In December 1939, Wu Zhongxing, chairman of the Kuomintang government's Commission on Mongolia and Tibet, arrived in Lhasa to a grand welcome. Since living Buddha Radun had already selected the reincarnated boy and given him a Buddhist name before Wu Zhongxing arrived in Lhasa, it was no longer necessary to draw the ivory lot from the golden urn. It was decided that Radun would draft a report to ask for special permission to exempt the child from the traditional drawing. Wu Zhongxing went to the Dalai Lama's summer palace to test the child and thought that all the mystical requirements had been fulfilled. On February 5th, the central government replied to the request by the regent living Buddha Radang and exempted the reincarnated boy from the drawing. He became the 14th Dalai Lama by special decree. So the Kashag government decided to hold the ordination ceremony for the 14th Dalai Lama in the eastern hall of Potala Palace. After the ordination ceremony, the reincarnated boy Lama Dundab became Dalai Lama Tenzin Gyatso. This peasant boy now ascended to a place as loftiest and most mysterious representative of this ancient theocratic society. He was surrounded by old men who devoted themselves to guarding the theocracy and their power. Once a person became the chief representative of the feudal serf system, he would naturally enjoy all the privileges the system had to offer. To keep the Dalai Lama in alliance with his benefactors, the Kashag government presented his family several ranches, and overnight, the clan became wealthy, elevated to the Tibetan nobility. In every respect, the Dalai Lama himself enjoyed the most extensive attention a supreme personality could enjoy in medieval Europe.
它是跟社会是要完全脱离的。
In Tibet then, most children did not have yogurt every day, nor did they have the right to an education. They were born to this world as offsprings of slaves or serfs, to grow up to be themselves slaves or serfs. They grew up with hunger, cold, fear, and religious beliefs. Because of the harsh environment, many of them died of hunger, illness, or from accidents. Because of their heavy workload, the parents had little time for their children, and accidents occurred. Some of the babies' eyes were plucked out by crows. If Tibetan children were lucky enough to grow up, they worked from an early age. The malnourished children could hardly bear the heavy labor. The masters used sticks and stones to beat them. Seching village is a beautiful place 72 kilometers from Lhasa. It was originally a ranch that belonged to the current Dalai Lama's family. The children here now are content, but some of the old people here are still haunted by the horrible memories of their childhood. Several decades ago, some of the serfs in Seching village fled the unbearable pain. Doma Yudong, who was a teenager then, and her younger brother Chopel also joined that movement.
나도 세신에 미치게 나는 세례 레프시라고 그래. 공원 생기기 때때 미시냐 말이야. 공원 치우도 거래 그 저가 나몰라 나자 나다 그렇고 그 존재 레벨이 뭐 존재 레그게 아니 미간 거로 뺐다더니 갈래 그 카제 아니 대더니 국대 아니 시라도 사무국대 드레스 군인 거래.
There were two worlds then in Tibet. The people of the master class paid no attention to the other world, as if the others simply did not exist. They indulged themselves, enjoying all that life had to offer, while the poor suffered. This tremendous gap was created by the slavery system and the extremely low productivity. The major masters who maintained the system should be held responsible for such terrible inequity.
欧洲中世纪的政教合一的封建论路者，没有西藏这么艰辛。 西藏更艰辛。
可是这个托靠有因呢，第一就讲那这个去特别吃呀的，这个专门吃特别吃特别熟悉，可是当然没有了吃几万的界定过了。但特么套的呢，是吧？特么套应该就是的嘛。的买军队开始是呢，咱们这个你农路过来点给钱呢，
是有些西方的研究学者。 他们忘了他们的原来中世纪的那一段社会形态对他们社会是造成的什么样的一个后果，他们没有研究清楚，或者是遗忘了，或者是有意识的不去回顾那一段，是在西藏那个。 我们对农奴制如何对待，这是很不公平的，很不公平的。
The West has long been interested in Tibet. However, it was in this century that their purpose went beyond setting up new missions. The Imperial Britain was once the strongest nation. It had a clear and firm policy in its colony, India, that the border of India would not be threatened at any time. Based on this principle, a buffer area around India under British control was set up. Therefore, Tibet, on the northeastern border of India, had to be independent, friendly to British India, and controlled by the British government. To open the closed gate of the local Tibetan authority, in 1904, an expeditionary army led by Colonel Francis Younghusband crossed the Naidula Pass and launched its invasion of Tibet. The troops passed Yandong, Jianse, and finally reached Lhasa. It was here in Duna, south of Jianse, that the British troops encountered the peaceful persuasion and obstruction of the Tibetans and Chinese officials. The result, however, was a massacre of the peaceful hosts by the advanced weaponry of the British.